The Israel Security Agency, better known by the acronym ISA or the Shin Bet, is Israel's internal security service. Shin Bet is one of three principal organizations of the Israeli intelligence community, alongside Amman, military intelligence, and the Mossad, foreign intelligence service. The Shin Bet is charged with the defense of the State of Israel, its institutions and its democratic governance, against the threats of terror, espionage, political subversion, and the exposure of state secrets. More specifically, the Shin Bet is responsible for the security and protection of Israel's Prime Minister and other governmental leaders as well as of defense industries, sensitive economic locations, and Israeli installations abroad. One of Shin Bet's most vital operational wings is the Personal Security Unit, which serves as a cornerstone in Israel's defense mechanism, with a special focus on the security of the Prime Minister. Ensuring the safety of Israel's Prime Minister is one of the most critical responsibilities of the Shin Bet's Personal Security Unit. This task requires a high level of precision, vigilance, and expertise. The Shin Bet's Personal Security Unit plays a pivotal role in upholding Israel's national security. Its responsibilities include providing personal protection to senior public officials, including the Prime Minister. The unit's operatives undergo extensive training to anticipate and neutralize threats, ensuring the safety of Israel's Prime Minister at all times. The Prime Minister's security detail consists of highly trained professionals who excel in threat assessment, risk management, and tactical response. They are trained to work tirelessly to guarantee Israel's Prime Minister's safety, whether at home, work, or on official visits, both domestically and internationally. Beyond personal protection, this Shin Bet's unit is involved in securing important infrastructure and government buildings, safeguarding Israeli airlines, and protecting overseas embassies. The work of the Personal Security Unit is integral to the smooth functioning of the state and its institutions. The operational structure of the Shin Bet is comprised of three primary wings. The Arab Department concentrates on counterterrorism activities related to the Arab population within Israel and its territories. The Israel and Foreigners Department is responsible for preventing espionage and addressing extremist threats to the state and its democratic regime. And the Protective Security Department, which safeguards high-value individuals such as Israel's Prime Minister, and strategic locations within the country. The murder of Yitzhak Rabin in 1995, the first ever assassination of an Israeli prime minister, was a terrible blow to all Israelis. To the Shin Bet, it was an earthquake. Avi Dikta, Israel's former Minister of Internal Security and Director of Shin Bet, said, "Afterward I was brought in to revamp the Shin Bet's Security and Protection Division, and we invited the American Secret Service in for a week, so that we could learn from their methods." We knew that no one had more experience in VIP protection than the America's Secret Service. America had suffered 4 presidential assassinations, and the single best teacher of good security is always experience. So we learned much from the Secret Service back then. Among other things, they taught us how to put up a better defensive ring, rather than just play offense, as we'd done in the past. Partly what went wrong in the killing of the Prime Minister was a failure of imagination. We simply never imagined that, with all the threats to him coming from elsewhere, an Israeli Prime Minister would be murdered by one of our own, a fellow Jew, a man in the crowd wearing a yarmulke. Other mistakes we made also occurred because we were going on prefixed ideas. For example, once we had thought that the Palestinians would not carry out a suicide bombing. That also proved to be wrong, as we discovered in 1993. Rabin's killing came about as a result of chain of mistakes. As we analyzed each one, the first and biggest mistake that stood out was that the areas where he was moving from to the hotel or car, were not as filtered as they should have been, as there were people there who should not have been. So this is the first thing we learned, to ensure that the paths from the venue to the car, or from the hotel to the car, are watched as carefully as any place else. No one gets through that we don't know. You build a ring around the Prime Minister. You play defense and offense at the same time. If someone is threatening the Prime Minister, he'll always first meet a well-prepared person who is standing in between. In Israel, we now operate on the assumption that the Prime Minister is protected to the fullest extent possible. This is the way it is 24 hours 7 days, and it doesn't matter whether there is actual intelligence about a threat or not. Of course, if there is additional information about some threat, then we might add more tools.